Hello everyone, welcome to a new video. If you're new around here, my name is Harmon. Today's video is all about 24-year-old Esmeralda Gonzalez, who worked in the adult entertainment industry slash sex worker, and she also was a fashion model on Instagram. And unfortunately, she was murdered in probably one of the more horrific ways that I've ever heard of. As we're walking here in this neighborhood, I am of course going to show you the house where she was basically kind of held hostage and then ultimately was murdered in. Stick with me throughout this video, and towards the end we're going to get to the house here. Anyway, so before we get too far into the video, I have to mention this. The 3 people who were arrested for her murder and abduction, their trial has not been set yet. In other words, they have not been found guilty in a court of law, so I will have to use the word allegedly throughout this video. Esmeralda, different articles state that she again worked in the adult entertainment industry. Another article states that she was basically a sex worker, but regardless, on her former Facebook profile it said that she worked as an Instagram model, as a real estate agent, etc. On the day of May 31st, 2019, Esmeralda was seen on many different surveillance footage from like a car dealership in Las Vegas, Nevada, here where we are right now. And also a neighborhood camera caught her also on surveillance, basically wandering around the neighborhood, and all she was wearing was high heels and like lingerie. It says that she knocked on several doors and attempted to get inside different houses, and when the homeowners answered, they said, hey, like, this is not your house, what are you doing here? Now, I will have to mention that from what it sounds like, Esmeralda most likely had either schizophrenia or maybe some other mental issues to where it made her pretty vulnerable and pretty kind of despondent, not necessarily with the best thinking. And so she kind of was in a weird state of mind that day. She disappeared, but she ended up at a house, again here in Las Vegas, where we're walking to right now. And she made it to the house of a guy by the name of Christopher Prestipino, who was 45 years old. And I guess Christopher was a local drug dealer in the area. And when Esmeralda went inside the house, again, she went there, from what I've been reading, she went there to partake in the drug use, which was meth. And it says that basically after she partook in the drugs with Chris and Chris's roommate named Cassandra Garrett, basically it says that she started freaking out and was like talking in tongues and apparently talking like she was hearing voices and all that. And so apparently Christopher tied her up to, I think, the bedpost to kind of like keep her from doing anything. It says after several hours of being tied up, Christopher, along with his roommate Cassandra, decided that Esmeralda needed to go. She needed to be killed. I'm assuming their reasoning was number one, they of course wanted to cover up the fact that they already had basically tied her up and held her against her will. And number two, it's another article stated that Esmeralda was kind of, saying a whole bunch of stuff, saying that, she was going to, call the cops and tell them that, he was a drug dealer and all that kind of stuff. So I think another reason was they didn't want the cops snooping around and finding his drugs. And so they just decided their best option, again, allegedly, they injected her with some pool cleaner, and I guess it pretty much knocked her out. Like it caused her probably some extreme pain, but I think it kind of knocked her out sort of. And then, again, allegedly, Christopher choked her to death. Next, they rented like a U-Haul truck, bought like a huge 50-gallon water tank type thing, filled it with concrete, and put Esmeralda's body in there and basically entombed her in concrete, and then dumped that big gallon tank or whatever into the desert in Las Vegas. Her body was found in October of 2019, so 4 or 5 months later after she went missing. Of course, her parents and friends filed a missing persons report in May when she went missing officially, but they found her body again 4 or 5 months later. Now, they found her jewelry entombed with her in the concrete, and they were able to match up that along with the DNA on the body back to Esmeralda, and so they figured out that was actually her. Now, it doesn't state specifically how they caught Christopher, his girlfriend, and the roommate, Cassandra, but I believe somehow they were able to tie in the fact that they were the last people to see Esmeralda alive. Again, all three were charged. I believe Lisa was charged with concealing the murder. Cassandra and Christopher were the ones allegedly who, did the murder, etc. Anyway, guys, I'm going to head out of here. I have a lot more cases to do. Again, it is very hot, as you can imagine, in Las Vegas. So I'm going to head out of here. Thank you for watching. Again, my name is Harmon. And until next time, we'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.